Now the more important part is actually the ground floor. If you take a look around here, you can see that we've got some walls, which are approximately 1 meter thick. Alright, so these walls will be going all throughout, all around the building, and some parts will be cut out of them. So here you can tell by these empty spots that they're going to be removed and replaced with railings. Now the question is, how can this be drawn? This is what we're going to discuss. You see, this drawing over here is not actually a 1 meter thick wall, but in fact this is just a basic wall that is going around, and it is hollow. So it's kind of a false wall. Alright, so this means that we're going to need to place some false walls on here. That's something that actually applied to this project, and I'm telling you about it. Or for example, if you take a look over here, do you see the walls going around the column? That's pretty much how it's going to look. So how can we draw these in properly? One solution that may come to your mind could be that you could draw the walls all around without even removing these parts. So you might think that you could draw the walls piece by piece. Let's go take a look at this elevation. You might be thinking that you could draw some walls and try anything you can to make it work. But a better way would be that you could draw the wall in one single piece all around, then take out these parts using wall opening. But that's where we've got a problem. If you go take a look over here at the ground floor, we might get a little bit confused as to how we can draw the wall all around here in one single piece. The way that these walls are designed is that we're going to need to form some squares, as in one here and another here. How can we even do this all around the building? For modeling such walls, there is a solution, which is that you could go onto one of these design squares and make those false walls into wall layers. So then for the inside part, you could just add an insulation layer. Basically, you would be making a multi-layer wall with a wall exterior, but filled with insulation. Let me tell you that there is another method to do that, but we will be talking about that later on. But anyway, to do what we just explained, first I'm going to be needing 10 centimeters from each side to make for the wall layer. We're going to take this as 10 centimeters also, and the rest of it goes for the insulation. Now I'm going to go over here and create a new wall type. And as for its thickness, we're going to make that 1 meter for now. So we're going to include that in its name. Then we're going to go over here and we're going to create 3 more layers. Then I'm going to move this one down, and I will want this layer to be here, and I'll move this one up. Now if we consider this 1 meter thick with 10 centimeters excluded from it all around, then that'll make the thickness of the inside structure 80 centimeters, which like you said will be for the insulation. Now we make this 10 centimeters as well as this one. Alright, now I'm going to go over here to the material of the inside part, and I'm going to make it something like air. That's actually just almost nothing, and it'll make the wall hollow. Then we could go to the other layers and give those materials as well, as in we will give them the false wall material. So I'm just going to pick something for it, just so it has a material to go with. Now here's the thing. You see, up to now I have created this wall type, and now I'm going to try and draw it in my drawing area. So this is kind of what it looks like. And now if I try and draw this wall all around the building, as in for example, let's say I'll go here and place this wall I just drew, and I'm just going to extend it as far as this side for now. Later, when I try to use the wall opening to remove this part, then the edge of the wall, which is here, then will have to turn and connect to the opposite side. You probably agree because this is hollow and it has to be closed, and to cover the inside part which we've made of air material. So how can we make that happen? Do you see this one going around? On parts where you apply wall openings, your walls should have a closed end. This can be done by using wrapping, as in you select this wall and go to its edit type, and give it a wrapping value. Either from there or from here, it makes no difference. But for example, here I'm going to make the exterior on inserts and at ends, so the wall wraps around itself. So that'll be at ends and at inserts. Now let's see what happens when we click OK. We're going to check the wall, and as you can see, our wall is now closed on both ends. So basically, the exterior is wrapping around. It is also important what kind of material you apply to your wall as to how your result will look. Essentially, this is the better way of modeling walls like this. So far, I have created this wall type. Now I'm going to go over here and grab pick lines, and then I'm going to click over here to place this wall. Do you see that? There's one that we need on this side. And also sometimes you may have to actually draw your walls piece by piece. For example, for parts like this one, if I stretch this to here and align these two together, actually let's just go ahead and do this whole part together. So up to here I have drawn this wall, and now I'm going to go over to the south elevation, then de-isolate the plan, and then I'm going to select this wall I just placed. That's in the ground floor, here it is. Now back to the elevation, and here's the wall. Alright, so this is the location of the wall we just drew. And now how high should it be? It should go up to here, so I'll have it start from the ground floor, up to the first floor, up to its FFL. And after this, we're going to have to give it an offset. For example, I'm going to have it go to here. I'm going to zoom in on this area and align its top with this line over here. And that's it. Okay? Now I'm going to go up here and grab wall opening, then click over here to specify the wall, and we're going to draw on the opening we need to create in the wall. So it goes from here to down here, and now we've got one opening. Now I'm going to have to readjust it and align its borders with the plan's drawing. Only this part has to go up a little bit, up to here. And as for the right side, it has to be on this spot. Do you see that? Now, how would it look like if I go take a look at it in the plan? As you can see here, this is the opening, which we've easily included. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to stretch this wall all the way to the end on this side. Let's stop here. Then I'm going to select this wall opening and copy it onto all the other parts that need openings. The widths of all these openings are approximately the same. So I'm just going to place these here. And again, you could try some other methods and do anything else that comes to your mind to draw the wall like this and have the same result, but this is probably the fastest way, and of course it is ideal that you do what helps speed up your process. Maybe you could even come up with a faster way than this, but still throughout this course we mention all the faster and more efficient ways of modeling, and you're always welcome to use your own creativity and even come up with newer and better ways. But anyway, if you ever find that the wrapping does not work on your drawing, you'll have to draw this end backwards a bit, then stretch it back to where it was. Then it should work. So if you found that your wall wasn't wrapping, you could fix it this way. I'm going to rectify all of them and readjust their borders so that then you could see the result. Okay, so this part right here is fine, but this one right here has a bit of problem, so I'll have to move these around a bit. There's one side. There we go, and as you can see here, I've been able to easily model this part of the elevation. This right here is the wall, and below it is the wall for the lower floor. Do you see that? So later on I will be placing curtain walls on these parts, and up here go the railings. So this was our way for modeling the walls on this elevation so far, and you saw that we tried a different method for this first floor, and I just hope it comes in handy for you.